आप समझ सकेंगे कि ये निज़ाम पाकिस्तान की कौमी सलामती के लिए क्यों निहायत अहम है। ये किस तरह चीन की फौजी टेक्नोलॉजीज़ के साथ माबूद किए जा रहे हैं और मुस्तकबल की जंगें एक ऐसे दर में कैसी होंगी जहां मालूमात पर कब्जा और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक बर्तरी फैसला कून हथियार बन चुकी है। चाहे आप दफ़ई उमूर के शौकीन हो, पॉलिसी एनालिस्ट या जदीद फौजी टेक्नोलॉजी में दिलचस्पी रखने वाले नजरेन, ये वीडियो आपको एक ऐसे पोशीदा मगर फैसला कून मैदान की झलक दिखाएगी जो असर-ए-हाजिर की जंगों का रुख बदल रहा है।
Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, defenders of truth and guardians of strategic clarity. Today, we stand at a kind of crossroads, one where whispers become declarations, where silence becomes disclosure, and where what was once hidden behind veils of secrecy is now leaking into the public domain. Reports, some officially sourced, others drawn from media and intelligence leaks, tell us that Pakistan is quietly but resolutely upgrading its electronic warfare footprint. And the implications are no small matter. Imagine a battlefield where no missiles are launched, no aircraft are visible in the sky, yet entire defense networks collapse in silence. Radars go blind, drones fall from the sky, and communication channels vanish into static. This isn't science fiction, it's the new frontier of warfare, and according to classified assessments circulating within NATO, Pakistan is quietly mastering it. The country's latest electronic warfare systems are not just tools of defense, they are weapons of invisibility, precision, and power that could redefine deterrence in South Asia and beyond. Pakistan's move to convert its Bombardier Global 6000 business jet into an advanced airborne electronic warfare platform marks one of the most significant leaps in South Asia's defense modernization landscape in recent years. This transformation, carried out in collaboration with Turkish defense firms such as Turkish Aerospace Industries, TAI, and Aselsan, is not merely about re-engineering a civilian jet for military use. It symbolizes the integration of modern electronic warfare doctrines into Pakistan's strategic mindset. The Global 6000's conversion gives Pakistan an asset that can perform standoff jamming, electronic intelligence, ELINT, and electronic attack missions far from its borders without exposing itself to direct combat threats. Reports indicate that the aircraft will carry an extensive suite of digital radar frequency memory (DRFM) jammers, capable of confusing and deceiving enemy radar systems, rendering them unable to track or engage targets accurately. This capability allows Pakistan to neutralize surveillance networks or air defense systems from over 500 kilometers away, extending the reach of its electronic influence deep into contested airspace. The cooperation with Turkey is strategically significant as it gives Islamabad access to Ankara's rapidly developing electronic warfare technology, expertise that has already been battle-tested in theaters like Syria and Libya. This partnership also demonstrates a geopolitical shift where both nations are exploring defense cooperation, independent of Western supply chains, aiming to build indigenous or jointly developed systems that can rival NATO-grade capabilities. The aircraft's sensors and ELINT payloads enable it to detect, classify, and catalogue enemy radar and communication signatures, giving Pakistan an intelligence advantage that can support targeting, mission planning, and early warning. The integration of wideband receivers and real-time signal analysis tools means that this platform can disrupt multiple enemy networks simultaneously, from surface-to-air missile guidance radars to airborne early warning systems. Such capabilities are crucial in modern warfare, where dominance of the electromagnetic spectrum often decides the outcome before the first missile is fired. For Pakistan, possessing this level of electronic warfare sophistication enhances deterrence, especially against adversaries with more advanced fighter fleets and integrated air defense systems. It reflects a strategic understanding that, in the age of data-driven conflict, control of the invisible electromagnetic battlefield can be as decisive as control of the skies themselves. Pakistan's newly upgraded electronic warfare suite represents a critical evolution in its defense technology, designed to counter modern threats across the electromagnetic spectrum with precision and adaptability. The inclusion of digital radar frequency memory (DRFM) systems enables the country's aircraft and ground-based platforms to conduct highly sophisticated radar jamming and deception operations. Unlike older analog jammers that simply flooded radar frequencies with noise, DRFM technology captures incoming radar signals, modifies them, and retransmits them in real time to create false targets or distort an adversary's radar picture. This ability to replicate and manipulate enemy radar signals makes detection, tracking, and targeting extremely difficult for hostile forces, giving Pakistan a significant tactical edge in contested airspace. The suite's communication jamming components further strengthen its effectiveness by targeting enemy command and control networks, disrupting radio, satellite, and data link transmissions that coordinate ground and aerial operations. In an age where warfare depends on network-centric systems, denying or corrupting communication channels can effectively paralyze an adversary's situational awareness. The electronic intelligence (ELINT) aspect of the system adds a second dimension to this capability. Using wideband receivers and advanced signal processing algorithms, Pakistani EW units can detect, analyze, and catalog a wide variety of electronic emissions, from radar sweeps to encrypted communications, providing valuable insight into an opponent's defensive posture and operational readiness. These insights are not just for tactical use. They feed into a larger intelligence database that can guide strategic decision-making, target prioritization, and long-term defense planning. The integration of all these systems into a coherent EW suite reflects a move toward networked warfare, where data from air, land, and sea sensors can be shared in real time to create a complete electromagnetic picture of the battlefield. This capability allows Pakistan to coordinate offensive and defensive EW operations seamlessly, whether it involves blinding enemy radar during an air raid or shielding its own assets from detection. The sophistication of these systems places Pakistan closer to the standards of modern electronic warfare seen in advanced militaries, giving it the means not only to defend against technologically superior adversaries, but to contest the electromagnetic domain as an equal player in regional power dynamics. Pakistan's development of soft-kill drone neutralization capabilities represents a significant evolution in how modern militaries are adapting to counter unmanned aerial threats without resorting to kinetic means. The increasing presence of surveillance and attack drones near sensitive airspace has pushed Pakistan to prioritize electronic countermeasures that can disable, hijack, or mislead drones without causing collateral damage or revealing defensive positions. Reports emerging from South Asian defense circles suggest that Pakistan has deployed mobile and airborne electronic warfare units capable of detecting drone control frequencies, intercepting their command links, and jamming their navigation systems, especially those reliant on GPS or radio frequency (RF) signals. This method, known as soft kill, allows for the neutralization of enemy drones by effectively severing their connection to ground control or corrupting the data they rely upon to navigate. Unlike traditional anti-air systems that rely on missiles or guns, electronic disruption leaves little physical evidence and operates within the invisible electromagnetic spectrum, making attribution or counter-retaliation extremely difficult. One notable incident, widely discussed in regional media, involved the neutralization of an Indian warmate loitering munition near the border with Lahore. The drone, reportedly intended for reconnaissance, was forced down intact after Pakistani EW units jammed its communication and positioning signals. This event demonstrated how Pakistan's electronic defense grid is evolving to counter low-altitude, slow-moving aerial threats that evade conventional radar and air defense systems. By capturing drones rather than destroying them, Pakistan also gains valuable intelligence on adversary technology, data links, and encryption methods, which can be analyzed to strengthen its counter-drone strategies. The soft kill approach is cost-effective, repeatable, and scalable, meaning it can be applied across various defense layers, from border zones to strategic installations. Additionally, these systems are being integrated into Pakistan's broader Air Defense Command, where EW units can operate alongside radar and interceptor networks to provide a multi-layered shield against both manned and unmanned threats. The technology is also believed to draw influence from Chinese and Turkish counter-UAV systems, such as the Coral and Redeti 2, which use phased array antennas and wideband jammers. This collaboration signals Pakistan's intent to achieve self-sufficiency in electronic warfare technologies, while mastering the ability to control, disrupt, and dominate the electromagnetic battlefield where future conflicts are increasingly being fought. Pakistan's advancements in electronic warfare carry profound strategic implications for the balance of power in South Asia, signaling a shift in how deterrence and air superiority are being redefined in the 21st century. Traditionally, deterrence in the region was measured by nuclear capability, fighter aircraft quantity, and missile range. But electronic warfare introduces a subtler yet equally powerful form of influence: control over the electromagnetic spectrum. This form of dominance does not rely on direct confrontation, but instead on the ability to deny, deceive, or manipulate an adversary's perception of the battlefield. By investing in EW systems that can jam, spoof, and blind enemy radars, Pakistan has effectively added an invisible layer to its national defense network, one that complicates India's reliance on early warning systems, surveillance radars, and precision-guided weapons. When an air force can disrupt an opponent's situational awareness before any missile is launched, it gains a decisive advantage without escalating the conflict openly. The strategic cooperation between Pakistan, China, and Turkey in developing these technologies also plays into the broader geopolitical picture. China's input, likely in the form of signal intelligence and countermeasure expertise, and Turkey's contribution through the Coral jamming system and EW software frameworks have provided Pakistan with the foundation to create a networked EW ecosystem that can be integrated across air, land, and naval forces. This creates an asymmetric deterrent against adversaries who may possess more advanced aircraft but are equally dependent on digital systems vulnerable to disruption. EW capability enhances Pakistan's credibility in joint defense operations, strengthening its interoperability with allies and demonstrating to potential adversaries that any intrusion into its airspace or surveillance over its borders could be met with non-kinetic retaliation. The psychological and diplomatic dimensions of this are immense. Even rumors or limited demonstrations of successful jamming or spoofing can alter enemy planning and resource allocation, forcing them to invest heavily in counter-EW defenses. This shifts the arms race from visible platforms to invisible frequencies, an area where smaller states can compete effectively without matching an adversary's hardware scale. In this way, Pakistan's growing electronic warfare proficiency contributes not only to tactical defense, but also to strategic deterrence by undermining the technological confidence of adversaries and maintaining uncertainty about what the electromagnetic battlefield might hold. One of the most complex challenges surrounding Pakistan's new electronic warfare systems lies in the issues of technology integration, interoperability, and security of information within a multi-origin defense ecosystem. Pakistan's EW architecture is being developed through collaborations with multiple nations, notably China, Turkey, and to a limited extent Western suppliers, which presents both opportunity and risk. Each country has its own protocols, encryption methods, and electronic interfaces, and merging them into a single cohesive system demands extraordinary precision in design and testing. This complexity introduces potential vulnerabilities as mismatched frequencies, software incompatibilities, or unpatched firmware could open pathways for exploitation or electronic infiltration. Moreover, while collaborations provide access to advanced EW modules, they also raise the risk of technology leakage or dependency. Sensitive components like DRFM units, wideband receivers, and algorithmic software for radar deception are highly protected by their developers, and ensuring they remain under full operational control without backdoors or export restrictions is a continuous concern. Another layer of risk is cyber penetration. Modern EW systems are deeply intertwined with digital networks for signal processing and data sharing, meaning that a breach in one subsystem could compromise the integrity of others. The integration of Chinese data link systems, Turkish jamming suites, and Western navigation hardware, for instance, could create a scenario where software from one origin interacts unpredictably with another, leading to functional inconsistencies during real-time missions. From NATO's analytical perspective, this diversity of origins also complicates Pakistan's potential interoperability with other defense networks, limiting coordination or standardization in joint exercises or multilateral security frameworks. Yet Pakistan views this mixed technology model as a strategic necessity, allowing it to avoid overdependence on any single supplier and ensuring redundancy in key EW functions. Despite these challenges, Islamabad's defense planners are emphasizing localized software integration and in-house encryption frameworks to maintain operational sovereignty over imported systems. Research institutions within Pakistan, such as the Air Weapons Complex and National Radio Telecommunication Corporation, are reportedly working to develop indigenous middleware and signal libraries that allow foreign modules to communicate securely within Pakistan's own command structure. The ultimate test will be whether Pakistan can sustain this complex network of systems under electronic attack conditions without degradation in performance or exposure of sensitive data, a challenge that defines the true resilience of its evolving electronic warfare capability. In the shadows of traditional military power, Pakistan's evolution in electronic warfare stands as a clear signal that the age of silent dominance has begun. These developments, born of partnerships, innovation, and strategic foresight, illustrate a profound understanding that the wars of tomorrow will not only be fought with firepower, but with frequencies, data, and deception. The conversion of civilian jets into jamming platforms, the ability to neutralize drones without a single shot, and the integration of intelligence-driven electronic suites show that Pakistan is preparing for a future where information is the ultimate weapon. Yet, this transformation also raises serious questions about regional stability, technological security, and the delicate balance between secrecy and deterrence. If the reports are accurate, Pakistan has entered a phase where it can influence the electromagnetic battlefield as effectively as others control the skies. It means the next conflict may not be decided by who has the fastest fighter jet or the longest range missile, but by who controls the invisible signals that guide them. The message is unmistakable. In this new era of strategic competition, power will belong not only to those who can strike, but to those who can silence.